Let's talk about some Love After Lockup updates. First, starting off with JK. I'm not gonna lie, a few weeks ago, I was speculating that Brooke and JK had gotten back together because she had made a birthday post for him calling him love, and it just seemed like they were being really friendly. But come to find out, I ended up learning from one of my sources that JK is currently dating this girl named Tanya. So this is his girlfriend here, Tanya Ray. I'm not sure how long they've been dating for at this time, but they have pictures going back as far as 4 weeks ago. So it's been at least a month. She shared this post where she said, "My current relationship is my last. I'm never giving up on it. That's my baby. I want to spend the rest of my life with you." And she said, "I swear," and she tagged JK. And the next day, it kind of seemed like she was getting pretty annoyed with JK because she revealed it's crazy when your boyfriend misses the ultrasound to change the oil in his truck. So she just revealed that she's pregnant with JK's baby. Things are definitely moving fast with these two. And someone said, "He did what?" She said, "Yep, he went home and he changed the oil real quick." And someone said, "Shaking my head," and she said, "Right." Next, do you guys remember Tia? She's the one that dated Nicole. She shared an update on her life. She said, "Do you know what's sad and confusing? I'm not just speaking on the world we live in, but the fact that a few years ago, I made big mistakes by going on TV and making a little bit of my life public. Ever since then, I've been criticized. My relationships have been criticized. My marriage has been criticized. Even my divorce has been criticized. But the biggest blessing of it all is that I got divorced, I got sober, I found my faith in God, and I learned who I was, and I'm still learning who I am, and people love to hate me. I'll be honest, I can't understand why. Sometimes I talk to God and I wonder why, but at the end of the day, they talk bad about that man and he's perfect. So Lord, I ask why that you forgive these people, guide me in the right steps. My life is 10 times better than you would have already imagined it to be. God bless you all." And I think a lot of people didn't hate her. I think a lot of it was just people giving her criticism because her and Nicole obviously weren't doing too well when they're on the show. Here she is admitting that she got sober, so obviously they're struggling on the show, and you know, a lot of people are not gonna be for that. I mean, if somebody's supporting that, then at that point they're just enabling your behavior. But I've noticed after she made this post, she's got nothing but positivity in her comments, and even my comments when I shared this, a lot of people were very happy for Tia. And this is something I didn't see coming. You know, Daonte's ex, Addie, she commented under Tia's post. Oh, she tagged Tia on a post on Facebook, and she said, "My Tia, I'm so excited." And Tia said, "Me too." And she said, "My bags are packed, ready for you, girl." So it sounds like they're about to hang out, have a good old time. And then someone under my comment said, "Seems like her and Addie are best friends." And I was like, yeah, I wonder what's going on. I wonder if Addie tried to reach out to Tia at one point to try to get the tea on Nicole and Daonte. And Addie slid into my comments and she said, "No, me and Tia live in the same city and we've had some mutual friends. I had her on Facebook when she came across people you may know, and she accepted the request. Recognized me and noticed we're from the same city, so we started chopping it up and became good friends." And that's just like, I didn't see that coming, because last time we saw Tia, she was throwing hands with Daonte, and now she's good old friends with Daonte's ex. But Daonte and his ex Addie are on better terms. You know, she ended up getting that restraining order on him, then the restraining order got thrown out, and then weeks went by where he was still not allowed to have contact with his son, not because he wasn't allowed to legally, but just because Addie wasn't answering his calls or reaching out to him. But eventually last week she did call him and he was able to video chat with his son, and he was very happy about that. Then he shared that he was invited to his son's first birthday party. His son's birthday isn't until June 30th, but they decided to go ahead and have his birthday party in Myrtle Beach. So Daonte traveled out there for his first birthday, and you can tell just how grateful Daonte is to be around his son again. Even the dog looks over the moon and looks like the dog's smiling, super happy to see Daonte. So Daonte posted some pictures and he said, "Finally reunited after so many months. I cannot express how happy this day has made me to finally see my baby boy again. I wasn't going to miss that party for the world. I don't give a F what I had to do to get there. Best believe Daddy's going to show up always. I was damn near in tears hugging him after so long and seeing him walk. I have such an awesome, beautiful little son. If me and his mom didn't do anything else right, we create a little, beautiful little boy, and that's on God. And I love to see how much he is so loved. Not just by me, but the other side of his family as well. It's a beautiful thing. Baby boy is spoiled rotten. My greatest achievement, no doubt, even though it's not technically your birthday until the 30th, since we celebrated today, let me just say it now. Happy birthday, son. I love you. I love this for Daonte because Daonte's been going through it, and I couldn't imagine like being separated and not being able to see your child. Next, I just have a quick update on Felicia. So Felicia shared that she got accepted into the University of New Orleans for the summer 2026 semester. So I love that for her. After doing all this time in prison, I love seeing that she's trying to make positive changes in her life. And next we have Andrea, and she doesn't seem to be making positive changes in her life because she cannot seem to stay out of trouble. She's the one that dated Lamondre in season 3 of Love After Lockup, and she's been arrested over 20 times when she was on the show, and a lot of her past arrests were due to theft charges, and here she is still getting arrested for theft. She was arrested on June 2nd for felony theft after she stole over $750 worth of merchandise. It's considered a felony in the state of Florida if you steal over $750 but less than $5,000, so somewhere between that amount. She ended up bonding out. She had a $15,000 bond, and she ended up bonding out later that day. And then she got arrested literally a month before that for theft. And she's also suing Buc-ee's. This girl's got a lot going on. So Sarcasm actually got a hold of some of her arrest reports, and I guess Andrea, she's been dating this man named Darren, and back in, hang on, I'm trying to read this. Back in April, Andrea, is it Andrea or Andrea? I think it's Andrea. But she ended up getting arrested with this dude after they went to some home improvement stores, and they ended up stealing a bunch of stuff without paying. And I guess they ended up loading their shopping carts at 3 different home improvement stores. And then on April 20th, they stole paper towels and 5-gallon buckets of Olympic stain with a total retail value over $840 from a Home Depot. And Andrea and this man were identified through the security cameras, and they ended up issuing a warrant for Andrea's arrest on May 21st. Here's the arrest from April 30th, where she had a $6,250 bond for 2 counts of larceny, grand theft property of more than $750 and less than $5,000. And then she was arrested before midnight on June 1st and got out literally less than 24 hours later. And then 10 days after Andrea and this man stole paper towels and stain from the Home Depot, they were using the same method to steal house plants and flooring materials from 2 different home improvement stores outside of Orlando. So these people just got sticky fingers. They can't help themselves. Not the first time, but she got caught, I think it's either December or January. She got busted stealing from Walmart, and she was stealing nursing supplies. And when she got busted, she's like, oh, I start this new job as a nurse tomorrow, so I had to get the supplies. I didn't have the money for it. And she ended up getting arrested, and I don't know what happened to that job. But now I'm like wondering if they got some kind of like home improvement job or something, since they keep stealing all these materials, or are they just stealing these materials for their own places, or are they turning around and selling this stuff? But Andrea and this man, they're arrested after they were shoplifting in Lowe's on April 30th because they were using a stolen license plate. So the cops were like, okay, we kind of feel like this car may be up to something since they have a stolen license plate. So they decided to park and canvass the vehicle, and they saw Andrea and this man come out, and they walked up to the Andrea and this man, and they asked them if they had a receipt for any of the items they had. They didn't have no receipt, so they realized that all this stuff that they had in their car, they had stolen and just walked out the door without paying, and that's when they were both arrested. And I guess they found other things in their vehicle, for a Lowe's from down the street, and they ended up calling the Lowe's from down the street, and they're like, hey, do you guys have any merchandise that recently went missing? So they checked their cameras and talked to their loss prevention, and they found out that Andrea and this other dude had stolen over $380 of items from their stores. So they've just been jumping from one store to the next, going on stealing sprees. And even Andrea, when she was arrested, the officer was like, what are you doing out here in Oviedo? I guess that's the name of the town. I hope I say that right. But she's like, oh, we're out here shoplifting. She was straight up front with the police. And I guess they ended up getting all the merchandise. They returned it. And there was a Home Depot she had stolen from. And when she had stolen from the Home Depot, she stole over $1,500 worth of flooring, paper towels, a sponge, and a bucket. And she's currently facing 3 separate felony charges for these different shoplifting incidents. And honestly, I'm shocked she hasn't been charged as a habitual offender at this point. I don't know if they have the habitual offender clause or whatever thing going on in Florida. They charge people when you get hit with the same charge so many times. I don't know if they do that in Florida. But damn, I'm shocked she's gotten away with as many theft charges as she has, and she's still out here walking. I mean, I could definitely see her serving some time after all these theft charges she's racked up just from this year alone. And when she got caught back in December or January at Walmart when she was stealing nursing supplies, she went to court and she came to this agreement where the judge was like, okay, I need you to take like some theft classes and you're going to be on 12 months of probation. And Sarcasm pointed out that they're not sure the way they worded it. It was like where she had to do the theft classes and then her probation would be done, or she's automatically going to get the 12 months of probation with the theft classes. But if that's the case, then that means she's currently on probation, and I don't get why they keep letting her in and out. Like, I'm starting to think maybe it might be the first thing, and maybe she completed the theft charges, so they wrapped up her probation early, because otherwise, why aren't you getting probation violations every single time you keep getting caught up at all these times stealing? But that's pretty much it, guys, for this week's updates. Let me know what you guys think about everything in the comments below, and thank you so much for watching.